My
What
God,
up? There he is.
was good, man.
My brother, man. It's a blessing to see you always, man. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. Just taking it day by day, homie.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, too, first of all, man. I already know that, time is very precious.
Absolutely, man. And we gotta take minute by minute, brother.
Hey, man. How's young Taco?
Oh man, he's perfect, man. He became
I
a
love it.
Fortnite champ in like 8 weeks, man. 10 weeks, man. He's
Nice.
Fortnite like crazy, but yeah, man, it's crazy how that school year is kind of going and it ended so fast, man. But
I know, right?
and these weeks are flying, man. They're flying
I
by.
mean, I kind of like it. I like when it's like I look at it, it's like, oh, it's Friday. And it's like, dang, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, because you think you got so much time because you're inside, but
sure.
it still goes.
Yeah, it's good, man. But it's been a blessing, man. It's been a real roller coaster ride, man, ups and downs. But catching a stride. You know what I mean? Like we're all in this together. It's not like it's a region that's singled out or a part of the world. It's all of us. So that's a blessing in it all for real.
Amen. Amen. So without further ado, I'd like to start, brother, here on Dad Talk. It's a simple format. Three
Okay.
questions, three from me, three from you. We
hmm
alternate. I start first, then you, and then at the end, if we still have time, we take a
hmm
couple questions from the people watching.
Sounds perfect to me.
Amen. So first question is always same question for everybody. It's a two-part question. That question is, do you love what you do?
Uh-huh.
And the second part is, do you think you deserve the success that you have so far?
Oh man, that is that's a great question, man. First off, I love what I do, not just for myself, and fulfilling my dreams, but doing this for others, that look like me, that look like us, you know.
Amen.
Um, it's been a wild journey, starting out at Wish and then going on to Jordan. But, just being in that kind of corporate setting, man, I always wanted to, kind of kick down the door for no, the streets and, where we come from and, telling those authentic
Facts, boy.
stories. Uh,
Facts.
that was kind of the magic to it, like not sugarcoating any stories or trying to not make an authentic story, and that's kind of how the storytelling went, and it's a blessing. I think where I'm at right now in my career, I would not make it here without a lot of mentors and a lot of the people that support me, and I'm just super thankful for that. My time in Atlanta, my time in Portland, Oregon, like I'm just thankful for people that just look at my ideas and they cop and they want to be involved. I wouldn't be here without that. So I'm just super thankful, super gracious, man, and I'm just super looking forward to the future. Yeah.
Man, I love that you said, doing it for the streets. I mean, a lot of people say that, right?
hmm
But when I think about it, Atlanta, I think about when I first met you. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, when I first met you and came to Wish, somebody put me on. I went to Stratosphere, the skate shop
Yes.
that was around the corner to buy my first pair of SBs back in '06. It was some Lebanon Blazers.
Well, it was across the
And
street from the store, the Euclid store.
exactly. Y'all had two locations per se.
Yep.
And
hmm
so I remember the guys in Stratosphere because I was like, what is low 5 points? This is
Yeah.
crazy. I'm a hood nigga. I'm from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew up over there on the south side, on the west side, a little bit of everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But never heard of low 5 points. But my point is that more of like when they put me onto that store, I was like, man, I thought I knew fashion.
Right.
But this was another level of it right here in my own city.
Yes. Yes. It was.
Right?
Yeah, for sure, man. The owner, Lauren Amos, she had a vision, man, and
The
just
GOAT.
going to Japan kind of early and going to Paris early and grabbing these different, streetwear, brands. And it was more than that. We had, like music, authentically. We were telling that story, with, 2 9 everybody with Future coming up, like everybody who was shopping there and everybody had a journey, man. And like, those broken bougie parties with Fadia Cater, like that like shaped Atlanta, and
Amen. Amen. Now it's so crazy how the streets
Mhm.
it molded all of us.
Yeah,
Whereas like we all have the same characteristics, you know what I'm saying, of like we understand the game like Future understand the game.
right.
It's like we all trapping. You know what I'm saying? Like it really taught us how to trap. Like Atlanta really put a skill set in us mentally
Mhm.
that, I mean, bro, it has helped me so much when I
Right.
crossed over to the other side.
And it's so crazy because like where you were, like in Ginza, like underground Atlanta, like and the athlete's foot, and those dudes, like and like
Ice
and
them.
Walters, just how real it is just to go in there to see Kumite and Sean and
Sean, yep.
yeah, it was just like I'm just so thankful for the OGs that had those stores and paved the way for us for sure.
No, for sure, man. Because they taught us how to stay grounded
Absolutely.
in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I bought my first pair of shoes when got my first check from them when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it was when I was a kid, a jit, nothing or whatever. I went down, got on the Martyr, and went down there and bought some Converse from Kumite and Sean. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like, it's just crazy to see them hold that down
hmm
and like show
in
you what real dedication is.
years, man, and and it's a staple. And I don't care how big anybody gets from the city, they always come back. Because you have to. You got to pay for
Man,
those guys, and with that Royal Satin release, that's what I wanted to do for the city. Not only there for Houston, and
right,
there's neighborhoods that rarely get releases for what reason I don't know, but you
hey,
know, you know what
yeah,
I mean.
of course,
The hood likes Sakai's, like I was saying, like the hood likes Sakai's. They like tier zero products, so why does it have to be in certain places? Like I never
right.
understood. You know, yeah. Shouts out to R.I.P. Walter for real.
Yeah, Mr. Wall, RP, man,
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah.
Question on you, my brother.
Man, so what? I seen you had some projects come out. Like, what inspires you? Not only with fashion and doing your show, but musically. Because I've always had a love for music, but like, what keeps you going in that?
I think that is surprising myself when
Mm,
I get an idea, right? Like it took me a little bit longer to get dressed for this one because I was randomly doing literally sit-ups right there and listening to a beat at the same time. Thinking about this conversation and then thinking about the beat.
mhm.
And for some reason, when I put my mind in two different places, it kind of
Okay.
like opens something inside of my brain that just allow like, oh, this will sound right on this particular flow. And so whenever I get that idea, I go with it and
Right.
I make the product. I don't know
Wow.
if it's going to be great, bad, good, amazing, a hit. Like I just make the product.
Okay.
And so I always go with every idea for the most part. And then when I have a good batch, then I look and see like, well, okay, let me take what I really love and then
Right.
mold around it and chisel to make a full product.
That's pretty my sneaker, kind of flow. That's how I do sneakers, like start out with a, authentic story and build upon it. Materials come next, color come next. Like, distribution, where's it going to be?
Right.
Where do you market this, So I see what you're saying with that. That's dope. Super dope.
No, I appreciate that.
Sure.
And I love that you said that for my next question, right? For
Yeah.
my question.
Okay.
Um, I feel that as I got older, right, I
Hmm.
realized that my biggest dreams, it taught me my biggest lessons. And and, and I always wanted to work at a dope boutique, right? When I was in Atlanta coming up, I always. So whatever, like after seeing you at Wish and just like that, I was like, dog, I got to work in a store. I'm like, I'm fly. I got to work in a store. Right? Like that was my feeling, right? And
Hmm.
then I got into Ginza or whatever. Organically, no weird, like it came to me like God said, here you go. This is what you want. You
Hmm.
manifested this. This is what you wanted.
Right.
And then I realized this ain't it.
Hmm.
Right? And then I went to music. Boom. And
Out the
got big fame, platinum records, and I realized, damn, this ain't it. Also. All right. And so then I changed my perspective to entertainment on a whole.
Mhm.
All right. And I feel that you can relate to me
Yes.
on this or whatever. My question is this.
Okay.
For you as a designer, a father, a
Hmm.
leader, when is it logical to transition your aspirations?
You know, that to me, I think has no time. You know, like you said, you know, when you feel it, you feel it. You know, God has blessed me with intuition, and I listen to Him. You know what I mean? Like prayerfully listen to what He has to say, and you know, it's not always going to be on your time. You know, it's always patience. You know, there's so many things that happened in my career and in my life that I never saw coming, that I thought were losses, but they were actually wins. You know, I mean, I thought I was gonna eventually one day own Wish, you know, and like that was my whole life. But then, you know, that turned into Jordan, which was like, you know, I was able to, you know, level
Level
up,
up.
do something on a bigger scale, on a bigger, you know, platform, not only for me, like I said, but for us, you know, like for the city, for the people, you know. And so for me, I think, you know, whatever my next move is, you know, I'm listening to God. But sometimes I've learned, especially in this COVID situation, that you have to be still, and you have to let it come to you, because you can't always do it by yourself. You can't always, you know, um, predict what's next, because nobody knows any answers, you know. So it's like this time is teaching us to be still and listen, and really, you know, connect and tap back into the things that made us, the foundation that built us, our families, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, the
Correct.
people. Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, I love that, and I love that you said that you felt that feeling of like, man, I'm my own Wish, because I look, that feeling and that disappointment
Yes.
is what I helped me turn to, like, you know what, I gotta open up my mindset to do something else and actually allow me to do music. I remember my boss at the time of Ginza, when we
Hmm.
first started off, we was doing so well, and I was just like, I had never worked. I had worked as a sales associate in South Lake Mall,
Hmm.
but you know, I was just on the floor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the dude with the stick at the front with an outfit on or whatever. Like, you know, I was never
And
managing.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got a chance to come to Ginza, and my transition from sales associate, dude in the front with a stick, to open and closing manager, all those type of things, like within 4 months, because of like one person quit, da da da
Yes.
da da, or whatever, like that responsibility came to me
Mhm.
fast, and I adapted and I did
You
what I
did.
had to do or whatever. And I remember I did so well, you know, that you know, for a time, I think I remember you even saying this to me, like, people think I own that store. You
Yes.
know, that people thought like that was my store. You know, so I'm there every day.
It says something a lot about your work ethic too. You know, it's like, can you work for someone and treat it as it's your own? You know, I felt like she had no worries of anything, because I wanted it to be the best at all times, even if it wasn't mine. You know, and that's that work ethic that you need to succeed for sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
so that same work ethic of like caring for things like it's your own, you
Hmm.
know, it made my owner, it made him you know, he was like, man, he made him feel comfortable enough
Hmm.
to wanna start thinking about opening up another one and let me get this one.
Yes,
You get what
absolutely.
I'm saying? And I was like, anyway, that made me feel good. That
Yes,
made
sir.
me feel like a man. You know, it really made me feel like a man.
What I also learned at Wishman is to appreciate your team, you know, in that managing role, that, you know, buyer role, because there were so many talented people that I worked
Oh,
around.
oh, your casting was incredible. Oh,
Mikey, all those dudes, man. They
J Lash,
also,
Cudsy.
it you know, it made me see like everybody's, you know, passion for this, but not only that, their talents, and it's taken them so many different places. And I was super inspired every day to walk through those doors, to be a part of a team like that, you know, which helped
Bro,
me. You may not see eye to eye all the time, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, you got each other. So
man, that's a big step, bro. Y'all, for people watching this chat right now, I'm telling you, this man had a dream team staff, the freshest group of people,
it's good.
different, Asian, black, white.
Yep. Every,
This is years ago. This is not no 5 years. This is
yeah.
almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
it
Oh,
was
okay.
like mixed with the, again, with the, you know, the promoters and the music artists, and TV, film, all that was mixed up in Atlanta, and it was a great time. It still is. I look at the success of like the Migos and all these guys that were just starting out, in Atlanta, and it's amazing, man. It's really a good thing, and it's it happens all over the world, and I'm glad that recognition. Like you look at a Chicago, you look at in LA, and of course New York. New York is just the hub of everything. I think but
You
my
know,
and even those towns in between. Um, but yeah, Texas. It's I'm glad to see that now people are starting to see the hyper local kind of
not for
stories.
sure. I mean, I appreciate Detroit too, the
Yeah, Detroit,
Midwest. Yeah,
sure.
Detroit, like it's just. I love that. I feel like these last couple of years, Detroit and Chicago have said, you know what, we got something to say. So our artists, our music, our fashion, our whatever, like they've been there. Don't get me mistaken, but it's
Yes.
like no, 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 no. We're gonna put it in your face and let you know what's going
Mhm.
on. You know what I'm saying? I even I even love Charlotte, man. When I went to All Star,
It's a beautiful town, man.
that place is growing, man.
I stayed there for about like 7 months, with James, like working social
Whew.
status.
That's a
Um,
bad brother right there.
yeah, man, my bro kills it. But opening with him, and I learned so much. I think I gained about 80 pounds, man, because the food was so damn
The
good.
food, bro,
Yeah,
man.
but good scene, man. They had like an art district, like Noda, and I was going to all these different places, man. And Charlotte was definitely a great spot to be in for sure. A wonderful city, man. I
For
appreciate my time.
sure.
Hmm.
And I love that when I came to Charlotte, they had like different ways that I can go with shoes. So if I wanted my SBs, I could have went to Black Sheep. If I wanted to the new releases and gear, I can go to James. I
Hmm.
whatever. Like I love how they separated it. Like, but it's different areas, good staff, good people. You
Hmm.
know, so I like the people that work in those stores. That
Yeah.
really stuck with me. I was like, man, it's a good reflection of the people in the community.
Absolutely, and that's where you have to be. The community. It always starts with the community, man. Because if you don't have their support, you have nothing. And
Amen.
we having communicating with the community. That's my new job. Communicating with the community, man. Because again, if you're not giving back, if you're not, I see some places just don't give back to where they're at. And I can't see that. And if you're again not sparking somebody's mind to want to do better than you, then in the community, then what are we doing?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. If you only, it's crazy how you only want to sell the sauce to people who making the sauce. It's like, bro, include them in this creation.
Absolutely.
They're
What?
doing the promo for you anyway.
Anyways, for sure. My
Question on you.
okay. So I've seen you grow as an artist. Also music, like again through fashion. Um, and when it comes to fame, when it comes to success, as an African American male, and not only that, but just a minority or just anybody who's going through struggle, how did you keep your mentals together? Because there's no manual to it. You know what I'm saying? There's no manual to success, right? and
Hmm.
and you have mentors, you have people that can chime in, but your journey is your journey and it's personal. So how did you kind of cope with the mental side of it, and keeping yourself kind of
Grounded.
grounded? Exactly.
Um, it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning. Oneness. What's that? It's a great story. Um,
Shouts out, Joe.
it goes back to what we were talking about, where Atlanta, it really prepped us. Like if we grew up, we came up, not grew up, but we came up in a very special era of Atlanta. Everything that I failed in the music industry, I already had a practice run of failing in it in Atlanta and
Hmm.
climbing back up.
Hmm.
Every I took way worse losses in the city than I did in the industry.
Can we share with them the story? We remember me and you were talking about that thing happened, you
Right?
know,
With the
and
shoot. Yeah, yeah.
prayed on it, right?
Yes.
And then a year later, you had the number one song because he used he used your lyrics. You know what I'm saying? In the
Right.
entire world, Bruno Mars, like you had the biggest, you know, your lyrics were the biggest lyrics in the entire world within a year.
Yeah. No, what to call it? It's Atlanta, man. I'm telling you, man. It really prepped me for anything that this industry threw my way because I didn't know what to expect. I had no how we came up. We just had the streets. We had our fashion sense
Mhm.
and our families. That's what we
Yes.
had. I didn't know no rappers were my friends. No DJs were my friends. I didn't have no big homie, no mentor in the rap game or none of that. So everything that came my way, it was kind of like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's do it or whatever. But I just started to realize like, man, even if it seemed like a loss to the consumer, it really ain't nothing. Like it's sliding off of me because
Mm-hmm.
I've been here before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even in my toughest times in the industry, per se, like 2014, that's my toughest time. Because in the real world, I never went through depression, like a long stint of depression. You know, so
Exactly.
I never went through that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah. I never went through depression. But in 2014, I went through depression in the industry.
Mm.
And it took me down real bad. I had 7 months of writer's block. And it started like 5 months into that, I was kind of like, dang, man, if I can't create anything, I'm probably gonna die.
Right.
Because I got so dependent on creating things to make money,
Right. Right.
creating things to
Wow.
be successful.
That's a
You know what
different.
I'm saying? Like taking thoughts and making those realities and then getting paid for it.
Wow.
You know, and so when I had this writer's block for this long, I was like, damn, do I got a disease? Or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I really feel that like if I don't snap out of this, I'm dead. Like
Mm.
I'm dead. Like I
Wow.
really truly in my heart felt that.
Hmm.
And I never experienced that in the streets. I never went, I've had bad days in Atlanta, boom, 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 coming up or whatever, took losses, whatever, you know what I'm saying, locked up, get out, boom, 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 whatever. That ain't nothing. Police ain't got nothing on depression in the industry or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or depression, period. Not even just in an industry.
Yeah, like nothing
Yeah.
on that or whatever. But I found myself. I
Wow.
found myself, and it took me having to go back to the city and the real people who I came up with in the city, and
Right.
they helped me open up my mind. I wasn't helping my people enough, and
Exactly.
that it was what I think the universe. I don't want to put it on God. Just
Mm-hmm.
the universe was trying to show me, like you're only helping yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping your people.
What Kendrick say? I realized I didn't know shit until I came home. You know what I'm saying? That's
You
real
know what I'm
talk.
saying? It's like I went to the
For real.
studio one day. I probably about six months into the depression,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, because I started watching TV for the first time. I never really watched TVs,
Mm-hmm.
and I had seen a couple shows. Just had my mind to open back up and start thinking about creating things for myself.
Yeah, exactly. For monetary.
Exactly. And so that motivated me enough to get up, you know what I'm saying, go down to the studio. And when I went down to the studio, I wasn't able to create nothing. I was still in that slump, but it helped me see an artist who I'd known before I'd even started doing music. And he was working on his project and he wanted to play it for me. And I respected him in the streets because that's where I really know him, from the
Mhm.
streets, not really on music or
Right.
whatever. And I was like, dang, this is good or whatever. But boom, 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 maybe if you did this, you do that or whatever, it could be da 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 da. You know, I ain't trying to tell them what to do because, you know, in the streets, I don't tell nobody how to run their trap
Right.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a respect thing. You run your trap, you run your trap, I run my trap, I run my trap or
Absolutely.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he accepted my notes, and then he wanted more. And then working with him, I ended up helping him create and making his first project.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt so good about it. It made me feel better about myself. And
Mm.
then right after that, that's when I realized that, oh man, I need to be helping my people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not because I'm always helping somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize that when you get in this game, you start helping people who are not your people.
Mm.
And that was the realization that helped the universe say, oh, he get it now. And then right after that, I promised I put it on everything I love from line. I'll die right now. I got a call from my boy in LA, and he was like, hey, bro, if you come out here, if you get a flight, I got a full team that's ready to shoot our video for a song that we recorded at the top of the year before I went into writer's block. I really liked that song. And I went and did it, and then boom, everything revealed itself to me. I moved from Atlanta, went to LA, and then let me tell you something, bruh. That he got that call. I went to LA. While in LA,
Mm-hmm.
that's when Bruno Mars dropped that song.
Wow.
And I
That,
didn't know
hey,
prior to that he was gonna drop the song. I just knew that he wanted to do something because
right.
he hit me or hit us, my team at the time, during that depression. And I was so depressed,
You
I
can
didn't even care. I was like, fuck that nigga.
you couldn't even see it.
I was like, I don't care.
Right,
Because
right.
I didn't trust nobody. I felt insecure about myself.
Wow. That's deep
I
to
would
even, you know. And those are real feelings that we never kind of bring to the table. You know, a lot of people see the, you know, with me, like you see the sneaker thing, you see the music thing, you know, but you know, those are deep things that a lot of people go through, and we have to, you know, really, really hone into our triggers and really hone into what makes us go off, you know. And so that's been a great thing I've been learning through this whole, again, it's light within this whole pandemic thing, you know. And I'm hoping that, you know, I hit a rough patch, you know, week 3 or 4, you like, dang, I'm not going out, I'm not traveling, I'm not doing this and that and the third. But it's like, you know, week 11, I'm a totally different me, you know what I mean? Just trying to figure it all out. But the journey has been so well because I've been connecting with fam, chilling, like, you know what I mean? Like really getting back to me, you know what I mean? And
Amen.
hey man, this is, you know, it's amazing to hear that story that you did. But we have to, again, we have to touch on those bases because a lot of people are going through it, you know, in our industry. And yeah, man, it's a blessing, man, to even talk about that on this platform.
Nah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why I opened this platform, because for me, my daily routine before this went down is me traveling from place to place,
Mm-hmm.
linking up with friends and having these type of talks and conversations while we hustling, boom, 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 boom. You know, when we get to see each other, we chop it up and talk or whatever. And I realized that, you know, being stuck inside, I don't have nobody to talk to but myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I need to talk to people that I love. I need to talk to people that I don't know, because
Mm-hmm.
that's me. I
Yeah.
love talking to new creators who I don't know and find out something new, learn something, teach something.
The
You know what
youth
I'm saying? That's how we get better.
next, man. They're up next, and we better listen to them now because those ideas, you know, whether they was covering them before, we can't keep on using the same, you know, 4 or 5 people in creating. You know, listen to the youth, man. They out here, and they
Exactly.
mask on or
Right?
off, house here. You know, they out here. So you know, I listen to the youth, man, and you know that right there has kept me inspired. You know, to whatever I do next. You know, and I know that's the same for you. So
Amen.
for sure.
All right. So my last question
Uh huh.
is, has any scriptures out the Bible ever help you accomplish a design?
Ooh.
The reason why I ask this is, to me, my
Right.
humble opinion is that you can design sneakers with anybody. Like, it ain't nobody that gonna smoke you. It's nobody on this earth that's gonna smoke you and making no sneaker. If you put you in a room and put them in a room, it's gonna come out. You're not gonna lose. Let me say that much. You're not gonna lose. That's just my personal, no, humble opinion when it comes to executing shoes.
Yeah.
So I know that all the technical things that you understand, all the things you learn from how we came up in Atlanta, everything
Yeah.
that Portland taught you, everything
Mhm.
that your mentors taught you. But to me, brother, you create on a spiritual level. It's got to be different because you hit so many things that when I see it and I realize, I'll be like, it changed my spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that your Bible mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
So that is why I asked that question.
Yeah. You know, for me, there's a, you know, let me just start by saying, like, I'm no perfect man by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I have vices, I have things like, you know, I go through, but you know, the Bible and my belief and my faith is the foundation. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's the foundation of everything. If you don't have that, if that's not your roadmap, you know. And I'm not saying that everybody has to be religious or you know you have to go to church and you know because I don't have a church home right now. You know, but for me, it's a big part again of listening. You know, and the having that intuition. You know, so for me, I mean, there's been a couple of times where, you know, I've kind of snuck a couple of things in, but like a lot of you know I definitely tried to do the Four Horsemen one time, and you know black, red, white. You know what I mean? So I've seen
Okay.
things in there, you know, but again, I think that's a big part of life. You know, even it's funny you say that though because it's a difference between you know reading the scriptures and practicing. You know, and that's where you find yourself trying to elevate through it. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, no perfect man, but I think that that is a huge foundation. You know, prayer is a big foundation of who you are. You know, and where you're going. You know,
Amen.
so I use it as a guideline. You know, I think me and God have a relationship that's a little bit different than him. Oh, this, that, and the, you know, we talk. We actually talk. You know, so
Right.
again, it's different for a lot of people, man. But I know one thing that's real is definitely love and genuine love. You know, when you genuinely when people can see through BS, then you tapped. You know what I'm saying? So I think you know with me, I've always tried to keep it real with whatever we wanted, whatever story we wanted to tell, or you know where I wanted to see the product or whatever it is. You know, I think you just got to keep it authentic.
Amen. Amen. I think it's last question on you.
So after this whole thing, if it you know when it breezes over, you know, when it goes, you know, so they say back to normal or the new normal.
Correct.
What are some of the things you're going to go into to change, you know, the outlook just like on our communities? And because I ask you that because even though COVID things going on, people running around with, you know, masks and gloves, and we're so, you know, concentrated on that, there's still a lot of real issues, you know, economically, you know, with the cops getting murdered. There's still, you know, our communities are still seeing crime, you know, like how are you going to go back into this and what is your new way of thinking through it all?
Um, I think that everything, I think, put it like this, adapting is more important than complaining.
Mm,
So what I mean by that is like everything I always do is with a purpose.
mm-hmm,
And I mean, I'm a person of color. I'm black. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So everything I do is to show people, definitely our people, that
mm-hmm,
you can do it because I know that I'm a different thinker and the way that I think comes out in my fashion. It comes
right,
out in my vision whenever videos and
mm-hmm,
just my execution and my speech, you
right.
know? So, but as far as, you know, I appreciate this time because it really gave me a better depiction of how the whole world, how we all look at each other.
Absolutely. We on the same playing field. I don't care if you're rich, poor, you know, I mean, it's worse if you are in like, you know,
Of
under
course.
community or, you know, not having as many resources. But like for the most part right now, we all don't have the answers, you know?
Exactly. And I realized that, you know, I've always said that the man at the top, he knows how to support the man at the top so they stay at the top. Right?
Right,
But they don't, they stay at the top from the ideas of the person at the bottom.
right,
You know, and so it's one of those type of things where I think that the bottom needs to be strengthened.
right.
It needs to be strengthened and it needs support from people who understand both. And
Yeah.
because I understand both, um, my next my next album is dedicated to black theater and black theater, black community, um, and like different visuals of the black experience. You know, I think that the black experience has a very cliche look at this point. You
Hmm.
know, it's becoming normal to be like, oh, this black kid and he was so good, and then the police shot him. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming so desensitized
Yeah, absolutely.
that we need to understand more of the root of why this whole situation went down. What's going on in that community than allow an officer to drive from Beverly Hills and pull his pistol out in Crenshaw. Like, you
Mm,
know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because everything is a cycle. It's a
right.
cycle. It's, every action comes with an equal or opposite reaction. It's science.
Mm,
You know, it's science. And I had a conversation on here with Big U, one of the brothers from LA. He's from Crenshaw, born and raised in LA. And he told me, that, we're going through 6,000, it's been 6,000 years of the system being a certain type of way.
mm,
You realize that everything is systematic.
right.
School, so elementary school, job, prison is the same routine, brother. It's the
Right.
same routine, literally. Eat at a
Absolutely.
certain time, wake up at a certain time, go to sleep at a certain time.
Mm,
And you keep people in this system, then you could feed them whatever they want. But, we always people talk about, the people that's a rebel, boom, boom, boom. I feel that people these days now, since you got more freedom and more
and,
outreach, social media
and information.
and information, definitely information, people are being a rebel without a cause. They're
Mm,
being a rebel for the wrong reason. And
mm,
I think that if you just, anytime you're doing something, whether it's designing, whether it's rapping, whatever, without a true purpose, you just doing it to make noise, that's never going to win your argument. It's not going to win
mm,
your point. What is the point? You
right.
get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because I always say, if we're put on this earth, if we're all born on this earth, then we got to figure out how to work together.
Absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
to. We have.
Yeah.
If black people were meant to be on Mars, then we would have been born on Mars. Somebody, LeBron, Jordan, somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of negative traits from other cultures that has creeped into our culture,
Mm,
and it's just a reflection of somebody else's culture. That's not our culture.
mm,
And I think that we need to gradually erase that. It's going to take time. Definitely take time, but we need to erase other cultures' stigmas that's transferred into our race.
yeah, but and I also think that it's going to be a different kind of outlook past race, man, because it's all of us again. I think it's you know uh, immigrants, like it's a lot of different things that that is a factor to this, and
Correct.
it's a world. It's going to take the world, not to sound like we are the world type of thing. But yeah, man, it's definitely a different thing, and I'm glad to be in it. I'm glad to be here. And I look forward to the future, man, for sure.
No, definitely, man. And at the end of the day, we are just steps.
Yes,
We are steps. We are not the full answer. We are not the ending chapter.
at all.
You know what I'm saying? We are steps to push it, to push this through. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And to, if you could inspire one person who ends up going number one, then good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, good job. Like, like trying to, people want to be the guy. They want to be Jordan. They want to be Iverson. They want to be Kobe. You know what I'm saying? They want to be Obama. They you know what I'm saying? They want to be John F. Kennedy. But that's not your calling.
Mm.
That's not your calling. Those people was inspired by somebody who was cooler than them.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan's brother was better than him before Michael Jordan got like inspired to be the best.
yeah.
Larry Jordan was that dude. He was that dude. You get what I'm saying? And
Sure.
so, I think I always say that sometimes it's not about being Michael Jackson, it's about being the reference for Michael Jackson.
Mm.
Because Michael Jackson didn't write all his songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to be that person that came with that song that made Mike feel like, oh, I got to sing this.
Or you
And
had to
if Mike
practice,
go number one, you just as important as Mike going number one.
or practicing against whoever guarded Jordan in practice, man.
Come on.
You had,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like Jordan said, like Scotty kept him sharp, then Jordan made Scotty realize that he was a killer too.
absolutely,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Because sometimes we could be so humble, we lose our edge.
Yeah. Hmm.
And that ain't it. That ain't it, my brother. For sure, for sure. I'm gonna check and see if there's any good questions in here from
Yeah, no.
anybody. See what they're talking about.
That-
Huh. I go something easy to start off. I see another question I like too.
Huh.
Frank, how does it feel to see sneakers you design on other people's feet?
Oh man, you know what? Uh, first starting out, like at not even at Jordan, but like at the boutique level, I couldn't like it was on a smaller, like this is how you eat. You know what I mean? So like, oh, let me just throw darts and see what sticks. We had to actually tell stories and actually have it sell through. For me, when I see people, wearing sneaks that I've created, I'm just super thankful. I'm just, gracious for it because again, if you can see my vision and where I was, at that computer, 18 months before, they came out and that and even though for me, I was on a bigger platform because, Jordan 1s or, Jordan 3s, that's the top of the top. So, that's a crazy product to be able to put your thoughts on, because
Correct.
from one, when they were like, you can do a look see, and they gave me blank CADs, and it was like, you can do any material or any colorway or tell any story. I'm like, what? I could do that? Like, are you
I can do that. Oh, that's amazing.
8 weeks? Like, you know what I mean? So for me, to have a vision, 18 months out and then to see somebody like it, or, for me, one of my favorite joys, I've been doing this since Atlanta. I definitely love taking shoes off my feet and giving them to people, because
Right.
I
Yes.
just love to see if it's a grail for somebody. I just love to see them happy. You know what I mean? And this is how I roll. But I'm just super thankful because, like I said before, without any support, who are you? Like, and if you're not giving
Nah,
back, who are you? Like, you can't do it by yourself. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
nah, I truly appreciate that. I take it the same way when it comes to the music. It's like, well, if all y'all love it, this supports my family. It supports me. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, cool. I would have like how you said it got to be foolproof through. It's the same thing I learned. It was amazing when I got a privilege to work with Will Smith. He
Hmm.
was like, man, I don't want to do any records that are not bulletproof. And I was like, all right, got you. Whatever. Like, say no more. I got you.
Hmm.
It's important to make product that is great on the business level first, and because you got the sauce, it's gonna be on there anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you focus on all sauce, no business, I feel like you get caught up in the wrong thing.
Hmm.
This question: would you guys want to trade jobs for a day just to understand each other?
um, for me, I've always loved music. I've always loved music, and 2011, I had taken a hiatus from Wish, and I was able to work with Wale on his Ambition album and see that entire process. Um,
Nice.
Working through, that again from start to finish, through marketing, through shows and everything, and there's to me, besides kind of being in the office and working, or at home working on my computer, there's nothing like being in the studio to see inspiration, the
Oh,
people come through the process, how loud the music is, for people coming up with ideations and, from, night to day, like you can't even tell. It's so dark in the studio, you can't even tell what day it is or what. I lost track of time.
for
So,
sure.
I mean, for me, I think music is, the language of love. It's the universal language, man. And besides, fashion or sneakers or anything, I think that's like besides food too, I would say, is like the way that everybody connects, and music is definitely one thing that inspires me, man. So again, I'm just super thankful to know you and like your journey. That was definitely inspiring in my career as well.
Now, what to call it? This is a cool question because I feel that like per se we were to switch
Right.
jobs or whatever, I still feel that you would be successful
Mm.
because where you come from, you got a skill set, you inherited the skill set
Mm.
that you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna
absolutely.
figure it out.
Absolutely,
You're
man.
gonna figure it out. Trust me.
And it's the same thing, man. I think it's again be rooted in, like some of my favorite songs are that connect to me and they connect on a level where I can relate. Whether and like I didn't always like I was never a hustler. I was never in the streets, but like when Nas and Jay paint this picture, and I seen people that I knew were in that life, but it was just so accurate. And no, even though I wasn't a part of it, I was like, damn, this is inspiring when somebody pull up in the block with the new Lexus or new polo gear on, like, you know what I mean? So it
No,
was,
for sure. For
yeah,
sure. I mean, I remember seeing Gucci Man pull up in the yellow Ferrari when he first got it, or
absolutely.
whatever, Air Max 95s, white tee, shorts, big chain, Bart
All
chain. Like, I was like, bro, this is a fit. Like, shoes, Mayor, what's up?
Man,
um,
nah, man,
shoes, you know what I'm
Mary,
saying? Shoes matching the car type
Mary's,
things or whatever. It's like those levels of fashion, you know, like your best designer, he's not dressing like that.
no,
He's not. He's not pulling up in the Ferrari to match the Air Max 95s. He's not. He's not doing it. You know
yeah,
what I'm
or
saying?
like the Coogee, yeah, like, or even that. And that's why I can appreciate Walters, man. I just remember people getting like, starter jackets to match shoes, like, or like anything, like Coogee, Polo, you name it. Like that it's nothing like being fresh, and it's nothing like seeing, that, having that picture in your mind. Like again, and I wasn't in the streets, but it was just like I knew what that was, and I knew
Yeah.
what, you know,
You can see it. You see you right there. You at the same gas station that they trapping out of. You see it.
at Texaco on North Side.
Ooh, come on now. Come on now. That Texaco make people heroes.
Man,
Last question.
yeah.
Um, Eric, you're asking good questions. Is there
Mhm.
any clothing pieces you guys would want a certain brand to put their spin on?
Hmm. As far as like just a
I mean, maybe they mean from the standpoint of something nostalgic that we'll want to like how Virgil takes things from the past and makes it new. I'm guessing. Hopefully, that's what they mean by that.
hmm. there's a couple. For me, it's not really a piece I would want to see flip, man. I've always loved. I think denim is one thing that's living, breathing. One thing I always, it goes in and out. It goes in the cycles. But I think
Correct.
work denim. I think that's one thing that I've always liked to, kind of work with. And I never really explored that, but I would say denim for sure.
Yeah. I think for me, it would be some of the classic LRG pieces, like
Mm,
the Dead Serious hoodie. I would
yeah,
like to see like Murder Bravado
do that.
do
He's
that.
Yeah, he's
That
nice
boy's
too.
a problem. That
Yeah,
boy's a problem.
yeah.
Just
Murders.
putting it out there. But like
I
I
like
would like to see that come back around.
Luke Vicious.
Ooh, who's that?
Yeah, you guys gotta check him out. But he kills it, man. He's doing his thing for sure. And like I'll always like an authentic story, like what Joe does. Joe, again, like he has his own Snapple, man.
Oh,
My
oh,
man has his own
we talking about
Snapple.
Joe Fresh Goods.
Yeah,
Oh
so,
God.
yeah, sir.
Oh, come on, Joe. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Joe gets it. Joe gets it. I can't wait to have a one of these talks with Joe. I mean, you can just tell the people where it's like, bro, this is effortless. You want
Yeah,
some story? You want some culture?
yeah.
Call Dad. Call. We have a talk. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just, you're
Remember,
gifted, you're blessed to understand it.
I remember
Say it
DBM
again.
when it was DBM, Doughboy Magic.
Ooh, I got pieces. I got an apron that I came out
Oh,
at a Summer Jam, a DBM apron, no shirt, Summer Jam. Not Summer Jam. What's the thing in Atlanta? The big radio show in Atlanta. Say it again.
Toast A3C.
No. The big radio one. It's bigger than A3C. It's like Summer Jam, but it's our version of it.
Birthday bash.
Birthday bash. My
Yeah.
first birthday bash. I went
Oh,
out, man. I had on DBM, no shirt,
yeah.
all go everything. I'm lit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like some people just get it, man. Some
Yeah.
people just truly understand culture. They truly understand design. It's just their calling. It is what it is, you know. I truly appreciate you, the Joes, and people that like trailblazers for story.
Same to you, man, for sure. Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Same
truly appreciate that.
mutual respect to you, man, and you know, much respect to anybody who's out there who's creating. You know, my words to you, if you know, if you're on this platform with us, is never give up, man. Never. And, you know, that may sound cliche, that may sound like you've heard it before, but truly, it is all about timing. And I'm, you know, you never know where your next thing can come from, man. You never know where your next blessing is gonna come in. You never know, you know, what can happen, and it may seem like you're going down, or you know, this situation may not pan out, but it always will, always.
Amen. Amen. I'm reading a book right now from Esther and John Hicks,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing I'd leave people with is you will not get your next blessing if you stay focused on the things that are not working, because you're blocking your own blessing.
That that
So
that sums that sums this whole this whole conversation.
that don't block your own blessing, guys. Focusing on the
Absolutely,
things that's not working. You
absolutely.
know, figure it out. Be appreciative, and focus on family right now. I like
Yes.
that. I love that you said that, man.
Yep.
Family, always go back to source one.
Home.
Home. Home is where happy is.
Yes. And the heart.
Amen. My
Yeah.
brother, thank you so much.
Much
Little
love, man.
Skies, thank you for
So
checking
much.
in. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was
Absolutely.
just talking about that, brother. That's amazing. But
Yeah.
hey, bro, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Frank.
Thank
For
you.
real, my brother. Be
Much love.
safe, and when things are somewhat back to normal, I'm definitely taking you out to dinner, my brother.
Sounds good, man. You know, maybe come up to Portland, man. We got some spots up here.
Oh no! You already know. $2. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
I'm out. I'm
I
out,
like
baby. You already know. Be good, brother.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Guys, man, every time I have those talks, I feel, I don't know, I just feel good. It's like a moving in my spirit. Um, I really, really, really appreciate it. I hope that you guys appreciate these talks, man. And next week we back at it again.